about the offensive performance?
Well, I didn't think we had really hardly any rhythm, early on. Well, I shouldn't say that. I thought early on in the first quarter, I thought we did a good job on the opening drive, basically being able to run the football. We were converting early. We stalled in the red zone, and then we missed a field goal. And then I think for probably a significant portion of the game, I just didn't think we had great rhythm, offensively. I thought our guys, in the fourth quarter responded. We got the big play to AT. Then obviously we, scored down there in the red area, and then we get a fourth down stop, basically down there in our red zone, and get another touchdown to kind of finish off the game.
It looked like Derek and McCoy had an exchange of words. Is it concerning at all that your quarterback's been in a couple of these things on the field?
No, look, this is a highly competitive business that we're in, so I don't think anybody gets too sensitive. Guys want to win, and that's really what this is all about. So, look, we addressed it. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's water under the bridge. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Let's move on.
When it's two team captains yelling at each other, one has to be held back. You don't
Look,
like that's a concern for team chemistry overall?
I think if you're ever in a highly competitive environment, and things aren't going the way that you want it to go, yeah, there's sometimes that you get frustrated. You lash out a little bit. I'm glad that both of them, have the balls to at least stand up and fight. You know what I mean? So, this isn't like a, hell, my wife and I argue. It happens. So let's don't make too much of it.
So you would say that this is something that you've seen before with teammates and team captains?
These kinds of things happen on the field. They happen on our sideline. They happen on our opponent's sideline. They happen in other NFL games. So I wouldn't read too much into it. I think that's two highly competitive guys that want to win.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I just think when you have competitive guys and things aren't going the way that it needs to go, guys, they get pissed, and sometimes they express their emotions. And then you get over on the sideline, you calm down, and then you come back out and you regroup and you go. And that's what we did.
Sorry, but with that situation and then the fans even trying to cheer for Jameis a couple of times, the way that
Listen, stop. Okay, stop. We're making way too big a deal of it. Let's move on.
Dennis, how did you assess Derek Carr's play?
Yeah, I think up and down. I think much like the whole offense, right? Up and down. There were some good things. There's some things that we need to do better at. So that's how I would assess it.
Dennis, were you limited at all or a little more conservative than maybe you might want to be because of Derek's injuries? Did that play a role?
No, I don't really think so. I don't really think so. I just think we struggled to kind of get into a rhythm. I don't think our execution was where it needed to be. I did think we ran the ball well early on. And then obviously we weren't really able to throw the ball as well as we needed to. So then we began to get a little bit more loaded boxes and things like that made it a little bit more difficult to run the football. And then, look, when we needed to go make a play to try to end the game, we made a play to end the game. And so I thought that was positive.
Dennis, what do you think of the kind of hustle play by Debo?
I thought it was awesome. I think it's something we talk about all the time, defend every blade of grass, and he easily could have just allowed him to go into our end zone without, having to pay the price. He hustled down there, he stopped him short, and then we're able to get a red zone stop. I think that's part of, the culture of a winning team, and I thought that was exactly what we're looking for.
Dennis, going back to your opening statement, you guys ended up in a three-way tie for first again today, but I feel like the last couple of years there was a sense of the division hasn't gotten away from us. If we can get healthy, if we can play our best football game. Do you think this year it's even more about this team needs to start playing better than just surviving long enough to let the stand?
Well, yeah, look, I mean, obviously I feel like we need to play a better brand of football. And that's what we're going to continue to work towards doing. But we talked about winning this week, and we took care of goal number one. And now we'll move forward and worry about the next week.
Jimmy, give you guys a little bit of a spark with that third down catch. And
Yeah, I thought that was a hell of a catch, for him to go up there like that and then bring it in through contact is something that, we've missed a little bit, and it's been nice to see.
It was kind of hard to tell because Carolina was struggling on offense quite a bit, but did you feel like your defense gave one of its better performances in the last month or so? Or
I thought particularly in the passing game, I thought we did a good job, I felt like, again, I feel like there were some opportunities to get the quarterback on the ground that we didn't, and they ended up, converting a few more first downs via, his legs than I would have liked. And then we had, one misfit on a run, which ended up being a, explosive run. But, I thought overall, they did some nice things. And I feel like kind of once we got them into, a passing game mode, I thought our guys, took advantage of it.
With Jimmy kind of giving you what he's given over the course of the past couple of games, touchdowns in the red zones for each of those, do you feel, what would you say your assessment is for the earlier decisions of him being inactive?
Yeah,
red zone trouble?
again, I'm not, let's start focusing on what we need to do moving forward. And, I think we've all been through those, decisions and thought through all those things. But he certainly has given us a little bit of an uptick the last couple of weeks.
What did you see on the block punt? How did it help the way it played?
Well, look, honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it got through. I know Nephi got through pretty clean and did a heck of a job of taking the ball off the foot, and then D-Jack was there to pick it up and run it in. I thought it was obviously, the design of the rush was good, and the execution of the rush was good.
Coach, at what point does winning no longer cover over the multitude of things when it comes to football? How do you approach the message to this team after the win, even though you had a good margin of victory on the scoreboard?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So you win by a big margin, but it's kind of an ugly game. At what point does winning not cover up for issues?
Listen, every game that you play, whether you win or lose, there's going to be good things that happen, bad things that happen in the game. There's never been a game that hasn't been the case. But ultimately, this game's about winning. And so we won a game today. Nobody's going to apologize for winning a game today. All right? We're going to take the win. We're going to understand the corrections that we need to make, and we're going to work hard to correct those things. And that's the process that you go through on a daily and a weekly basis.
Seemed like there was, we kind of spoke about it on Friday, but a little bit more of an expanded role for Zach Vaughn as a pass rusher. How do you feel that he impacted the game?
Yeah, look, hard for me to comment on that right now, but certainly, that's been something that we've, kind of needed. Maybe a little bit more speed on the edge, especially with Cam kind of being a little limited. So we'll evaluate the tape and see how it was, but I would expect that, we could potentially continue to see him in a little bit of that role.
I know Chris was sick all week. How, was he battling through that today?
Oh, yeah, he was battling through it, but he fought through it. It was a hell of a play down there on the goal line to catch the ball for the touchdown. So it was good, but he was not feeling well.
And Steve, you kind of touched on this earlier this year, but how did Jimmy respond when he wasn't in the lineup? And how did he?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. And he responded great when he got in the lineup. He's a pro. So said he'd be ready when his number was called. His number was called. He was ready. So that was good.
Dennis, can you talk about Jordan Howard? Seems like he was all over the place.
Yeah, look, I mean, just on first take after, just coming off the field, I thought there were some good things that I thought he did in the game. I think there's some things that, we're going to need to correct. And so I probably can't get too much detail as to, exactly how I think he played because, it's kind of hard to do when you're just coming off the field. But look, I saw some plays that he impacted the game, and I saw some plays that I felt like, we got to be better there. All good?
Derek had 37 passing yards until the fourth quarter when y'all had that run at the end. How do you feel like he played coming off those injuries last week?
I think I mean, up and
How do
down.
you feel like he played? I
Up and down.
Offense, but
I'd said he played up and down a little bit like the rest of the offense. You know, I mean, that's really, so it wasn't his best performance. But again, you know, we won the game, so we'll make whatever corrections we need to make, and then and we'll move forward.
Was the early focus in the run game something that y'all were intent on having?
Yeah, look, we felt like that. You know, look, this is a really good pass defense, and they're top. I think they were 6th in the league in terms of pass defense coming into the game. So we knew that was going to be a difficult challenge, and yet we felt like there were some opportunities to potentially run the ball against them. I thought our regular running game was much better in this game, and you know, particularly with us not having Taysom available to us, we knew that was going to be you know, something that we were going to have to, you know, really do a good job of, is hand the ball off to the runners and let them go make yards. And I thought we did a pretty decent job of that.
And that's with the way the crowd has been the past 2 weeks. How much did you all? I mean, I know you need to win every game, but how bad did you need to win this week?
Yeah, look, I think everybody in that locker room and everybody in the city of New Orleans needed the Saints to win. And so I was glad we were able to do that.
What do you think of the front four so far from this game?
The what?
Front four.
On defense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, I mean, why don't you let me look at the tape and before I can really comment exactly how I thought, you know. Look, I did think we got after the quarterback a little bit more in this game than maybe what we have been able to do in the previous game. So that did kind of stand out to me a little bit. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, Jimmy. All right, brother.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. The Saints get the victory over the Carolina Panthers by a score of 28-6. The New Orleans Saints move to 6-7 on the season. And as of right now, they are in a 3-way tie based on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers knocking off the Atlanta Falcons today. So all three teams, Tampa, Saints, and Falcons, are 6-7. So right now, the Saints control their own destiny. Still have a chance to win the NFC South, and it works when you go up against a team that is 1-11 in the Carolina Panthers. Look, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. Number one, the Saints got the victory today, so, yeah, that's a plus. As a Saints fan, I don't want to see the Saints lose. I don't. I don't want to see the Saints lose. So, in that regard, I'm happy. But I don't think that I am feeling the same way some Saints fans are feeling. Some Saints fans are probably upset because the Saints actually won this game. And I know that sounds crazy to some, but it's almost like watching an infant child try to put their hands on the aisle of a stove when the heat is on. Them not realizing that when they touch the aisle of the stove, it's going to burn their hand. And you as a parent or as a guardian are trying to stop them from putting their hand on the aisle, and they're trying to fight with everything that they can to put their hand on the aisle of the stove. And you know what the outcome is going to be and you're trying to protect them from that. That is what it feels like to be a Saints fan. You got some Saints fans out here that are wanting their favorite team to lose. They want the Saints to lose. So it will leave the organization no choice but to go in a different direction. I've never seen anything like this before in my entire life. I've never seen an organization that is so stubborn, so egotistical, that they are going to do whatever the hell they say they're going to do, and they could give not a HE double hockey sticks what a fan thinks. They don't give a damn. Excuse me. They don't give a damn about what any of us say or think about this team. It's amazing. And they are willing to die. Like, they're willing to die before they make these changes. This is absolutely insane. Like, I'm sitting here like, wow. Like, it is unfreaking believable. And it's sad at the same time. Everybody knows it. Like, if you listen to that press conference, everybody knows that this is not working. Everybody can see it. The reporters can see it. The fans can see it. The commentary can see it. You had Kirk Menefee going into the halftime break cracking a joke about you ain't gonna see none of these guys in Canton no time soon. It's a joke. And it seems like everybody understands the joke and the punchline of the joke, except for the New Orleans Saints. And they are subjecting us to watch this nonsense. Yes, they won 28-6, but we've seen that a lot of that came towards the end of the game where the Carolina Panthers pretty much just said, man, it's just not our day. And it just seems like the quarterback that they have in Bryce Young, I mean, he's just not that good right now. It's a terrible football team. So you struggled against a 1-11 Carolina Panthers team until late in the fourth quarter when Mr. Stat Pad himself, Derek Carr, throws 2 late touchdowns in the game to try to save his credibility. Everybody's seen that this dude had 37 yards passing throughout the entire game until late in the fourth quarter. Then all of a sudden you want to flex his muscles like he liked that. And you got these jokes, these clowns, these pathetic excuses for football fans that want to cape for Derek Carr and talking about, man, I told you. Told me what? What did you actually tell me? What did he actually prove? But that goes to show you how these people are willing to get it any way that they can. And this is the delusion that is circling around this organization. You got Dennis Allen, who is trying to defend Derek Carr with everything that he has. And Catherine Terrell had to basically drive it home in order for him to admit that Derek Carr did not play his best. You ask him about Jordan Howden. Oh, I think he played some good, but there's some things that he needs to work on. Derek Carr. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of up and down. Until Catherine Terrell had to be adamant about it, like wanting him to be on record about how Derek Carr played. And finally, they got it out of him. But this is the delusion that is going on around the organization. And this is what we're going to be subjected to for the next couple of years, Who Dat Nation. Because I'm telling you, there is no end in sight. I feel bad for all of those Saints fans out there that probably watched the Heisman Trophy ceremony with tears in their eyes, excited about Jaden Daniels winning a Heisman Trophy and the possibility of him being the next quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. Who Dat Nation? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but don't get yourself all hyped up for something that is not going to happen. The New Orleans Saints are a stubborn organization. They are going to force you to care about Derek Carr. They are going to force you to care about Dennis Allen. They are going to force you to care about the mediocrity that is going to be taking place for the next 2 to 3 years watching this football team. And when you have low-hanging fruit like beating the 1-11 Carolina Panthers in a way that Mickey Loomis actually approaches the game, I don't see an end in sight. I do not see an end in sight, and it is sad that Saints fans have to hope that their favorite team lose in order for some change to take place. This is pathetic. This is sad, man. This is sad. And man, it'll be one thing if I knew, like, okay, this is a bad season, and next year things will get better because, maybe they'll try to get themselves a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, bring in his new coaching staff, and maybe we'll start generating some wins and finally be able to take advantage of a very lackluster division. But once again, as long as this division is terrible, and as long as it's not painstakingly obvious, based on the division's performance, that the Saints aren't very good, we are going to be subjected to this nonsense that is called Dennis Allen-led Saints football. I am sick of it. We all know how this is going to go. We all know that if the Saints played any other team other than the Carolina Panthers, this would have been a loss. And the only people that can't seem to see that is the Saints organization. And this is also something, before I get to the comments. Saints fans were disgusted watching this game. It got so bad to a point where you had fans inside of the Superdome chanting, "We want Jameis," because of how pathetic Derek Carr played for 3.5 quarters. All of a sudden, the Carolina Panthers, they go 4 and out twice. Saints get the ball in some really good field position, some really good passes, good catches by A.T. Perry, jump ball by Jimmy Graham. And next thing you know, a couple touchdowns take place. And I don't care what anybody says. Them putting Jameis Winston in to take a knee at the end of the game was a middle finger to the fans that were chanting that they wanted Jameis. So it was almost like them saying, "Oh, you want Jameis? Well, here you go. Let him take a knee because we won." How the hell you try to grandstand after beating a 1-11 football team? A 1-11 football team that was pretty much in it until late in the fourth quarter. Pathetic. Absolutely downright pathetic. But anyway, let me go ahead and read some of these comments, man. I would like to watch a couple more of these evening games to see what real football looks like. Says, get these idiots out of here. It seems Jimmy Graham is the only guy Carr has any chemistry with. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss a 6'8", 265-pound tight end, which I've been saying since the season began. Why the hell is he not playing? But please tell him don't go in the locker room telling the players it's hard to win in this league. Dennis Allen sounds like a gay preacher that's in the closet. I'm not even going to touch that, man. Look, I don't care about this man's sexual orientation. I can care less. What I care about is the Saints winning football. I don't care what he does in his spare time or what his preference is. The journalists aren't lobbing him softball questions today. That's why he's ticked. Yeah, because that's the delusion right there. He came up in there probably thinking to himself, "Oh, we won a football game." So he thought like maybe it was going to be some easy questions. "Oh, we got the win." But that goes to show you the delusion of this team. Like, nobody's impressed by that. Nobody is impressed by that. "Oh, you don't apologize for winning in the league." I agree with you on that. But dude, don't pee in the air and tell me it's raining. That was a sorry performance. If the Saints, once again, if they would have played any other team, a competent football team. Matter of fact, I'll go deeper. If the Saints play the Giants like they did today, they're going to lose. They are going to lose. Like I said, I have no problem. Look, I wanted them to win. I'm a Saints fan at the end of the day. But once again, we all know the truth. And people are sick of it. Like, people are tired. The media is tired. Fans are tired. We want change. And we don't understand it. We do not understand why. We don't understand why this is happening because it can be completely avoidable. It can be avoidable. But they just insist on keeping this team the way that it is. You're not going to win with these dudes. I don't understand. You're not going to win with these guys. It is not rocket science. You're not winning with these dudes. They're not very good. Dennis Allen is not a good football coach. He's not. Why are we wasting this? Why are we wasting our time? The worst indoor field goal miss I have ever seen. Groupie is not it. Man, Groupie field goal pretty much summed up the entire season for the New Orleans Saints. Pretty much. I mean, you got everything in front of you, right? It's about as simple as pie. Simple schedule. All hands on deck. Other teams struggling, starting quarterbacks out for the year. You got everything in front of you. All you got to do is just chip that thing in. All you got to do is just play to your strengths, and you still can't get it done. I mean, if that is not an analogy for Saints football in 2023, I don't know what is. I don't know. I'm tired of this, man. I'm sick of it. I'm glad they won today once again, but man, don't get tricked by the score. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't. It was not. And that's what it is. Like, it's sad. It is sad that Saints fans are upset that the Saints lost. Like, this is crazy. Like, you got Saints fans like saying things like, man, now we're gonna have to have another year with Dennis Allen because Mickey Loomis gonna try to bring him back and justify him winning games like this. And you're right. That dude ain't going anywhere, man. He ain't going anywhere. We're going to have to suffer yet another season watching Dennis Allen fumble all over himself. And it's going to be even worse because if they win a division, they're going to have a tougher schedule. And this dude can't win with a simple schedule. Like, everybody knows this. But if Mickey Loomis wants to alienate fans, if Mickey Loomis' ego is so big that he cannot see that fans want change, then fans need to show the Saints organization that we deserve better. Saints fans deserve better than this, man. If the Saints were doing, like, if the Saints were moving like the Eagles or the 49ers or something, like getting guys in place, trying to find the best nucleus of players, coaches not working out, man, let's try to go in a different direction. If they were doing stuff like this with Dennis Allen, then people be like, yeah, man, you know what, man, they trying. At least they doing something. Nope. Same old, same old. Ain't nothing wrong with us. All we got to do is just do this. Ain't nothing wrong with us. All we got to do is, nah, bro. How many times do we have to see you guys come on the field with the same individuals, the same coaches, and fumble all over yourself? How many times do we have to see that? We don't have to see this over and over again to know that this joint ain't working. It's not working. It's not. It is not working. But man, look. All you can do is laugh at this particular point. All you can do is freaking laugh, man. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what to say here. I really don't, man. It's sad that people are rooting against their own favorite team because they can't get it done. It is sad that they're rooting against your own team, wanting them to lose because you want the organization to fire somebody so bad and want them to see something that everybody else sees. I don't. Sorry about that. I jumped out by mistake. I apologize. Let's see. Let's stroll a little bit. I apologize for that, folks. I had like a little issue. This is a new this is a new platform that I'm using here, so I apologize for that, folks. Um, let's go with all right, we'll
What
go
up?
with JL. JL, how you doing, man?
What up, TJ? Can you hear me all right? I know you can't see me for whatever. Oh, my
Yeah,
webcam's off. That's why.
yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing, man? What you got for us?
I'm doing good. One, I got first off, TJ. I love you, man.
I
Um,
appreciate it,
I,
man.
I agree with just about everything you're saying about the team, about delusion. Do you mind if I step on a soapbox for a second, if you don't mind?
Yeah,
I will agree. The Blake groupie slander is completely valid, but I just find it like funny personally. During the preseason, was there not people clamoring for Blake Groupie to replace Will Lutz?
yeah,
Was
they were.
whether or not now Will Lutz is like kind of back doing his thing in Denver, and everyone's complaining that Blake Groupie sucks. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to keep Will Lutz, and I just keep hearing that shit. And now Blake Groupie's out here sticking it up, kicking, and everyone's like, well, what the hell's happening? Like that's just one of the things I'm talking about. I find it funny for people to be acting after they were begging for a kicker to be replaced. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I got you, man. I mean, look, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, and in this case, literally and figuratively, they missed. Blake Groupie, like, I mean, he's young, man. So I mean, his whole career is ahead of him. So maybe he'll get better as he becomes a pro. But man, you got to have some guts. Choosing a rookie kicker over a veteran like that, especially when you're basically on a hot seat yourself and you're trying to prove something to fans yourself. I would have went with Will Lutz based on the fact that he's a veteran and you kind of know what you're going to get with him for the most part. But hey,
Yeah, well,
you
I
got
just had
anything else, man?
nah, Alex, I agree with you. This team, man, I hate being pissed off watching the game. Like, I always tell like my dad, he's a Bears fan. I'm like, sometimes like if the Saints win, can you like make you feel comfortable with a win? If you lose, make me feel comfortable with a loss, man. But like giving me hope and constantly snatching it away from me, I hate it, bro. I couldn't feel comfortable about this game until 3 minutes into the fourth quarter against the Panthers, bro.
Man, I said it. If this was any other team, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Like
I'm
it'll
not
be a
even mad
completely
about a win.
different story.
I'm
I'm
never
not
gonna be
either.
mad about a win. So it is what it
No.
is. Like we're 6-7. Somehow we're still competing in this sorry ass division. And any other division, we'd be like 5 games behind. But it
Yep.
is what it is.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do in the last. Was it 4 games left? I honestly lost count. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting down the stretch, but I mean, they can't to me, they can't afford to lose any other games. Like they don't own any other tiebreakers. They lost to the Packers, they lost to the Vikings. The way that the Rams are playing right now, even though they lost in overtime to the Ravens, they played them pretty tough. So no game is going to be a give me. Like they got to win every game. Like that's the only way that you can be sure that you're going to make the postseason. But we'll see, man. We'll see down the stretch. You got a game versus the Giants coming in, so we'll see what goes down. All right, but JL, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime.
no problem, man.
All right, yeah, man. Look, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Like when it comes to Blake Groupie, bruh, like this man out here missing chip shot field goals. That is not a good look. That is not a good look. That you're missing chip shot field goals like that. That is not a good thing. I want to thank Tampa Supreme. Says Saints, Bucks, and Falcons are in a dog fight. Dog fight, cockfight around him. Shoot, man, rooster fight. There ain't no dog fight up in here. In order for it to be a dog fight, you got to have some dogs. And none of these, I would not mistake any of these organizations as dogs. I'm sorry. They based on the circumstances, they in it. Okay. This is your resident cockfight right here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, you know what I'm saying? This is a 2-piece dinner fight right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this what this is. This is not a dog fight. I would not use the term dog in describing any team in the NFC South. But we're gonna go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man? Can you hear me?
What else, TJ?
Hey, how you doing, man? Somebody had a
I'm
dog
good.
fight.
I'm good, man.
Man,
You say a dog fight?
man,
Man, come on.
With that boy Denzel said on Remember the Tights, bunch of tough guys, looking like a bunch of fifth crazy sissies after a cat fight. Shoot. Looking like some,
You got that right, TJ.
for real. Ain't no dogs. Period. Well, go ahead, man. What you got to say?
Oh, TJ, all I can say is that I'm happy that we got the win. I mean, I know, and after what you were saying at the top of the show, everything you're saying is nearly about the same thing I be saying, because I've been saying, I think you heard me say this before, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
You got different type of Saints fans that will like what they see, and you got Saints fans that will not like what they see. But overall, a win is a win. I know some of them want them to lose, some of them want them to win. I get it.
Right.
But the outcome, they scored 28, and the other team scored 6, so I'm happy about that. They wanted this team to lose so we can get a higher draft pick. But sometimes, and I said this in the chat, TJ, sometimes things don't go as planned as you think. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some that will stick to the plan, and you're gonna have some that'll change their mind. But overall, the Saints won this game. And I'm just ready for the next one. And now we tied up with Tampa Bay and Atlanta with 6-7 record.
Right. I mean, look,
that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, winning is the key. Winning is what matters. But I think that is like Jerry. I think we both can agree that it's deeper than just wins and losses here. Like if it was just about wins and losses, I think that Saints fans would be elated and excited about it. But this is deeper because Saints fans are feeling that with every win is justification to bring back an incompetent coaching staff. And that's the biggest issue. And I think if you take that away, if we were to have this conversation today, I think the energy would be a little bit different. But it's almost like Saints fans want to save the organization from themselves. And that's what this is about. But as a Saints fan, like, I don't want to see them lose. Like, I want to see them win every game. I want to see them perform well. But, I kind of see where both parties sit at. But, I mean, look, but I want them to win. I want them to win.
Yeah, and TJ, you were saying that you don't like losing as a Saints fan, and you already know I don't like losing neither. But Saints won today, and hopefully win the next one. Maybe, or if not, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Giants next week. It's another home game. So, and then you got a short week. You got to take on the Rams. You got to travel to the West Coast, which is going to be tough. So I would expect for them probably to dip out probably right after the game or something like that if they want to kind of get their bodies like right, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for that game. But, I mean, you got to win. Like, you got to win all of these games. Like, I ain't sugarcoating. I know some people, man, you'll need some help. No, you're not. You don't have any tiebreakers. Like, all the teams that are in playoff contention, like the Vikings and the Packers, you already lost to them. And then you have to take into account Seattle, you know what I'm saying, in the West, going back and forth with the 49ers, which we know 49ers more than likely going to win that. And Seattle's played well enough to make the postseason. So where you going to be at? You're going to be on the outside looking in. So they got to win all the rest of these games if they're going to win, if they're going to make the playoffs. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's what it's going to come down to. You got anything else, Jerry?
No, TJ, I don't have anything else. All I can say is see you done step your game up. I like the new setup and all that, new technology and everything. You got it going on, bruh.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, it's a new platform, which is kind of like, well, I'm dealing with some of this trial and error stuff, but just trying to step it up, man, give people the best quality I can and give them the best content, man. But wouldn't be possible if it weren't for people like you, man, and believing in me from the beginning. So thank you so much, Jerry. I really do appreciate you calling. and all of the support that you've given me over the years, man. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome, TJ. Much love to you and the family, bro. And much love to all the Who Dat Nation. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Let's keep it going. I love you
man. All right, man. You take it easy, Jerry. Yeah.
You too, TJ. Take care.
All right, man. Shouts out to Jerry, man. Jerry been supporting the show for a long time. Extremely supportive, man, and I love that brother, man. I'm telling you, man. Before I even knew what this podcast was, it was just me, talking about the Saints. He was there like supporting from the beginning. So shouts out to him. I'm gonna try to see if I can go back up a little bit. I know there was some donations, and I want to make sure I acknowledge some of the people that actually donated. I want to make sure. Let's see. I think I already read this one about being in a dogfight, but thank you, Tampa Supreme. Thank you for your support on that. I wish it was like one of those other platforms where you can just, click on it and all the donations will be right then and there. So, I mean, it's like I said, there's pros and cons to this new platform. So like I said, just bear with me, folks. I apologize. This is my first time actually going live on it. I tried to kind of test it out a little bit before, but it's still a little bit of trial and error. But I really do appreciate this. Let's go ahead in the meantime while I'm strolling. Let's go to Buck. Buck, how you doing?
Oh shit.
Gotta be ready. Hey, you gotta be ready at all time, man.
What's going on, TJ?
Man, I'm doing all right, Buck. How you doing, man? What you got for us today, man?
Yo, man, you doing all right, bro? Hey, man.
I'm doing fine, man.
This talk, man. I was giving y'all like a little headache at first, you know what I'm saying? Because I was one of them boys saying that, yeah, man, I was just hoping my doggone Saints lose to get Dennis Allen out of there. And yeah, but you had a strong point on what you were saying, like, yeah, man, you shouldn't want that to happen because you just don't want to see your team lose. I've been a Saints fan for a long time, you dig?
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't want them to lose, especially not to them.
Right.
Because that'll show you who your true character is. But when this ball call came up there and but you
man, I ain't never laughed so hard watching, bro. I gotta go back to like when I was in single digits. I'm talking about 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Like I laughed so hard at a Saints game. I mean, that dude had me had tears in my eye. Like when he threw that check down to Andres Pete.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. I lost it, man. I was like, man, that was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like
you seen how big he was when you was throwing him the ball. You knew he wasn't eligible to catch it. I'm like, what is you doing, bro?
Man, this man
37 yards in the fourth quarter. Dennis Allen not taking his homeboy out and putting Winston in, knowing that this quarterback is dragging along. What Saints quarterback you knew had 37 yards in the third quarter in Saints history? Saints history.
I mean, bro, when this dude, like, there was a couple passes out here, man. I'm telling you, you could have made a sitcom and one of the funniest shows on television. It was the pass that he threw to Andres Pete. That was one. He threw a check down to AK 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. AK fight for his life out there.
So, bro, your check down got to go somewhere else with all that, bro. You can't check down behind the lines, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Man, I ain't laughed so hard when he threw that pass to Andres Pete. Pete was so shocked. He was so shocked.
Pete was like, what you want me to catch it? What you want me to do?
Man, Pete didn't know what to do, man.
Pete out there.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to know what Eric McCoy said to him.
I don't know.
Get into it like that. He
must have
jumped in Derek Carr shit.
It was the protection. He called out the wrong protection.
Oh, that's
when that's when they had that straight line shot to the to him, and he had to lay down and take the sack. He called out. Okay, so like the quarterback's supposed to turn, call out the protections, the mic, the wheel, the Sam, or whatever. Like they'll call it out the mic in this case, right? So he calls out the wrong mic, and of course the offensive line had to make the adjustments. So he snapped the ball. my God. But he ended up getting sacked, man. Long story short, he ended up getting sacked. But
that's trash, bro. That's
man,
like a
hilarious.
circus act. I said, man, I'm glad we
Man,
weren't playing the Giants this week. And
man,
y'all
I was
came with
laughing
that?
so
Man,
hard.
that'd have been a loss. That'd have been a
Yeah.
loss, man.
Oh my goodness, bruh. But
Yeah.
but Buck,
Yeah.
overall, man. I mean, I don't know how long you were here. I don't know if you checked out the press conference.
Oh, yeah, I
You know,
did.
yeah. Dennis Allen seemed like he was kind of upset, man. I mean,
Oh,
what are
kind
your
of
thoughts?
upset.
Yeah, what are your thoughts
I,
on DA's press conference, man? And you know, how do you think what are
man,
your
I
thoughts
ain't,
on
I
it?
ain't never seen him get. He was so agitated.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally one of the reporters got up on their skin. They kept on attacking about that Eric McCoy and Derek Carr situation to the point
Mm-hmm.
where he said, "Look, enough of that. Yeah, me and my wife get into it. Other people just get into it. We fuss and we get it over with. Just so enough of that question." I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
look at him now. He want to get frustrated.
Yeah.
People asking you something like that." They
Well,
want to know what's the locker room problem. Is there a locker room problem with your coach? That's what we trying to get to. Because
right.
obviously something going wrong. We know it's you.
Right. And
Trash.
and and also, Buck, this is what a lot of people aren't understanding. Eric McCoy is like one of the nicest human beings on the planet. Like
Right.
honestly, he plays the wrong position based on his character, like who he is as a person. This dude
Right.
never yells, never really screams or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to come out his position like that,
Like that.
it took a lot of the media by surprise because he doesn't
Right.
react like that. Like he's pretty
Mm-hmm.
even kill.
Right.
So of course they're going to ask him questions, but I find it like, man, it is amazing how they just try to just protect this dude, like how they just protect Derek Carr. Like it's
Yeah.
just amazing to me. Like,
Hey,
but
TJ,
there's
did you
something clearly going on. They do not like this dude. Like
Nah, they
seriously,
don't.
they do
Did you
not like him.
did you hear when he said they asked him about Derek Carr bringing him out after the concussion, how his performance we passed pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what?
This man
I
had
rewind.
37 yards.
I said 37 yards, but we passed pretty good. Derek Carr didn't play his best game. He could play better. I said, man, you a coach and you saying that I should have took Derek out. I should have put Winston in.
Oh no,
You
he
ain't
ain't gonna
had
say
Taysom
that.
Hill to lean on. That's why Derek Carr had them numbers. That's on
Yep.
Taysom Hill make Derek Carr look good.
Hey, but I will say this though. I will say this. That running game looked good today. Like
Yeah.
Jamal Williams and AK ran the ball really well today. Like,
Yeah.
and if they weren't trying to make people care about Derek Carr from trying to make him play through these injuries and trying to get him to throw the football, if they would have just committed to the run, this game probably would have been over by halftime. They
Right.
were literally running the football. Then all of a sudden, here come them weak play action passes that ain't working because this dude got the yips in the pocket.
Yeah.
Man, Derek Carr, look, you can be the best Derek Carr, like you can be the biggest fan, but this dude is erratic when he has pressure around him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look no further than a pass to Andrews Pete. Like, you're not gonna no, seriously. Like, that shows you right there, like, for you not to be cognizant, like for you not to really understand, like, this is an offensive lineman and he cannot touch the football.
Right.
Like, that tells you everything that you need to know right there. And this is not a rookie. This is a 10-year veteran in the league. So I don't know. But Buck, you got anything else, man?
Like you said, bro. I ain't saying Winston is the answer. I ain't saying Hayner is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Derek Carr not.
Oh no,
I think that's it. Dog. He gotta go. He's trash. Something gotta shake.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's up.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be soon, man. But I don't know, man. Based on if they're gonna just continue to force this dude down our throats and DA, I don't see any end in sight.
They will.
But Buck, I got a few more calls to get to, man. But thank you so much for chiming in, man. Call back anytime, brother.
You got it.
All right, man. This man, this man tried to set up a screen with Andrew's feet. That man thought Andrew Pete with Pierre Thomas. my God. Oh man, that was man. I don't think I laughed that hard at a football game in a long time. When I saw this, when I saw that. But anyway, let's see. 615 says the groupie slander is valid, but y'all were begging for him to replace Lutz. Talking about Lutz production, so it's ironic for y'all to be acting. Just saying. Well, look, you're not going to get everything right. And for people to say, like, oh, y'all was clamoring for him, y'all should have a problem with it. Nah, man, look, you going to get them right, you going to get them wrong, right? I mean, because if that's the case, I might as well just go on ahead and turn this mic off, turn off this webcam and go somewhere, because at the beginning of the season, I was talking about Derek Carr being the answer for the Saints. Like, I mean, I was clearly wrong. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, just because people were lobbying for Blake Groupie, you know, like they shouldn't say nothing about his performances, because that's just not the case. Like, look, we all throw stuff against the wall, hope that it sticks, right? When it sticks, we want everybody to big up us, right? Oh man, look what we did. Look what we said. I told y'all. But when we get it wrong, like, there's no need to hide your head in the sand, right? Sometimes you get them right. Sometimes you get them wrong. I don't have a problem with people saying, or, you know, having the courage to say how they feel about certain things. And if they go wrong, they go wrong. That don't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. Just means that you tried to make a certain take. It didn't work out. I ain't got no problem with that. But let's go ahead. We're going to go on to Prime. Prime, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing beautiful. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. What you got for us?
Okay, for the fans of this broken down, overpriced car getting excited for beating a 1-11 team who padded his stats at the end, who basically had the same amount of passing yards as the BB gun had last year against the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, for them to put Jameis out there to take a knee, why couldn't his girlfriend go out there and take a knee?
That's a good
That was
question.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
Disrespectful.
yeah, and all that was, Prime, was like the fact that was them trolling the fans. Like, the fans was chanting for Jameis to come into the game. And at the end, when, you know, the game pretty much got out of hand, they put him in basically just to kind of troll the fan and say, you want Jameis? Well, here you go. You know, that's what that was, man. Like, I never seen that. Name a time when a starting quarterback took the majority of the offensive snaps, all of them, and all of a sudden, like, okay, they asked the backup quarterback to go out there and take a knee. Like, you don't really see that much. You know, usually, like, the starting quarterback who put the stats up, who helped the team win, he goes out there for victory formation. That was a troll job by the Saints at the fans for booing Derek Carr and wanting Jameis in the game. Like, you can't tell me otherwise.
Exactly, bro. Many me probably in the room with you, so I'm gonna keep my comments clean.
All right.
But he is so petty, bro. He reminds me of a simp. He reminds me of somebody when somebody call him out for doing wrong. He holds a grudge against him and be petty, like a
Mm-hmm.
female. And I'm gonna tell you also right now. I really think that core injuries. I know he's injured, but I really think a lot of that stuff is for sympathy, because you don't have 2 concussions now within the 3-week period, and you
Right.
still going out there. Man, look, you fool around here, and you won't be able to be you about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you won't even be able to think because you don't have too many concussions. But they got to push him out there because they spent all this money on him. This boy, I keep saying this the rest of the season. This boy is not worth that money. You could have got the same or even more exciting result by just paying Jameis a little more. Because
Right.
all the moves, just man on man, with Carl sucking, with Groupie being inconsistent, and the other, and just about all the moves of all the players, they really haven't done anything. Even the tight end that went to LSU that they used to play for the Raiders, he's not even doing nothing big. But yet,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just to remind me of the same kind of stuff that the mega support that the mega code is doing. It's basically they gripping the hell out of Saints season ticket holders and people that buy their merchandise. Cause you know they're gonna put a tux on this pig and talk about how we done made improvements in this game. Man, it was supposed to be beating it. You was supposed to be beating the hell out of these people.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, Prime. Um, when you look at this team, I mean, this clearly isn't it. But and also for your comments about them trying to like, I don't know, gaslight fans. Like the jig is up. People know what this team actually is under Dennis Allen. They know what this team is with Derek Carr as the quarterback. I mean, it's nothing really you can do about it. I mean, it's just that plain and simple. And they are at a point right now where there's a strong possibility that they can lose the support of the football team by trying to be petty and trying to prove a point here. Like I see it. Like they're right now. This is a team like that is used to being able to control the narrative,
Exactly.
having the media be able to put that information out there that they want, be able to present this organization in a way that they want to see fit. But now they're upset that the media is basically letting fans know exactly what's going down. They can't control the narrative anymore, and they're upset about that because they want that level of control. But everybody can see it. And it would be complete negligence on the behalf of the media for them not to be able to ask the questions, give us the information that we clearly could see. And now the organization is upset. Like if they put this organization like this, they construct it like this again, Saints fans they're not gonna come to the games. They're not gonna be buying season tickets, and they are going to see a decline in merchandise sales. Because people aren't going to subject themselves to this nonsense. And you can no longer just put something out there, like you said, the lipstick on a pig. You no longer can put that out there. You can't just lob Saints fans to sleep anymore by bringing in LSU players anymore. Like that song and dance is gone. Like people want to see significant change that they know that if you put this team together, you have the right person and the right infrastructure to get the best out of this team. And until then, people aren't going to buy it. So no matter if they won this game, no matter if they win next week, everybody can see the inevitable that Dennis Allen is not the answer and Derek Carr isn't either. Simple.
And you see, 2 points I'm gonna bring up before I let you go and pick up on the other callers, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, facts are the facts. Jameis is 15-10 as a quarterback of the Saints. The Carr is 6-7. 3 years ago, Jameis went 5-2 with less talent. Carr had all this talent the first 10 weeks of the season and didn't do squat, not a thing. So, so I feel for the fans that's spending all their money, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you right now, I just have this sinking feeling they're gonna keep Dennis around another year because really, if they wanted to cut their losses, they could still, if I'm not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong, they could still cut Derek before April 1st or something of next year, and basically still have the same impact as if they let him stay another year.
Well,
If you
nah, I
look at
mean
his contract,
they would take a significant cap hit if they cut him before, I want to say 2025 or something like that. Like they would take a significant cap hit. So at worst, like what will probably happen is if he isn't playing up to standards, he'll just be a high priced backup quarterback.
right,
Like that they're not going to cut him. And that's
right.
the biggest issue that we have, that you need him to play better. Like you need him to play like at least decent. And you have to know that if you put this hefty price tag on him with this type of commitment, you gotta do whatever you can to try to salvage this thing. You're not gonna get top production middle of the pack production, or even in some cases average production with Pete Carmichael calling plays from.
Well,
This is a bad combination. It's a bad combination. It's two individuals that need somebody else to be able to oversee what the heck they doing. Pete
right,
Carmichael had Sean Payton. When Derek Carr had his best season, he had John Gruden. So they need somebody to oversee them, to help them stay focused and be able to see certain things. They can't do that on their own.
right. And you see. Also, I know a lot of people talking about Saints to draft this young brother from LSU.
Mhm.
No, only way I agree with that if they got rid of Dennis Allen, because Dennis Allen would even ruin that young brother because
Yep.
he's not a good quarterback coach.
Yep.
So with that being said, what I say is, okay, you stuck with him for 2 years. You get rid of Dennis Allen. You keep calling the roster, and you keep Jameis if Jameis wants to stay on the roster. You get your young quarterback, and you have that young quarterback and your draft choices for next year on rookie contracts. What, for the first 2 or 3 years, and that hit might not be as big as if you wait until 2 years before you draft another quarterback.
Man, the Saints, I'm letting everybody know this right now. All the Jaden Daniel people out there, and y'all may not want to hear this, but the Saints aren't drafting a quarterback in the first round. They're going to draft a pass rush. They're going to draft the pass rush in the first round. I don't no need to even get yourself all excited and you know what I'm saying, like bucked up as we used to say back in the day for a quarterback that's not going to come through. Like this organization has shown you that they're willing to do whatever it takes to force their agenda. So you know for a fact they ain't about to draft no quarterback. So get ready. Take a look at some of these pass rush out here, because that's the direction that they're gonna go in. They're gonna try to put somebody opposite of Carl Granderson. So let's just go ahead and just get that out of the way, get the quarterback out your mind. I don't even want to see y'all set yourself up for that type of hurt.
Because I'm
Because
gonna
I
tell
see
you,
so many people out there trying to get talking about quarterbacks, Michael Penix and Jay. No, it's not happening. I'm
well,
telling you, it's not happening.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my brother. I'm a Jaguar. And I never was an LSU fan. And when people ask me that know I'm from New Orleans because I live in Houston, or you like, I say, I can't stand LSU. And I have my reason. So I'm
Most,
not a
most
number. But I can see what they're going to do. Like you say, they're going to draft some promising defensive end that has a history of being injured, and he's tall.
pretty much. The same old song and dance. Hey, but Prime, hey, I gotta go ahead and let you go, man. I got some calls I gotta get to, but thank you so much,
I
man. Call
appreciate you,
back
my brother.
anytime, man. All right, take
Keep it
care.
up.
All right, yeah. Man, shouts out to Prime though. But yeah, man, I'm not even trying to see Saint fans get their heart broke like this, trying to convince themselves that this gonna happen. Thomas, thank you very much for the 499. Says they asked Carr to assess his play. He responded was we won. Well, yep, that's pretty much it. I mean, I already know, what he was pretty much gonna say. He said he won the game, so I guess that's all that mattered to him. Let's see what's happening. TJ witnessed some good football. The Baltimore Ravens were shuffling, and it was a spiritual experience for 3 hours. Yeah, I tell you this, man, that was a good game. I watched it towards the tail end, and man, shouts out to this little this this new little function on the YouTube TV where you can actually look at 4 games at one time. So I was able to watch all 4 games. That was pretty cool right there. And I was able to watch towards the tail end of the Baltimore Ravens game. So that was pretty nice, David Joseph says Dirty Birds or Who Dat and the Pirates from Tampa Bay are in a 3-way tie for first place. This is crazy. Yeah, crazily terrible. This is bad, man. Look, I ain't trying to sugarcoat. This is the worst division in football. Any other division, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Derek Carr, Dennis Allen would have a leg to stand on. It gets bad at the quarterback position if they had separated Derek Carr and Eric McCoy. Tragedy. Yeah, Roderick, that's pretty bad. Like I said, Eric McCoy is a pretty even kill cat. You know what I'm saying? So for him to get upset as he was, that's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. But back to what I was saying about the quarterback position, I see people talking about Jaden Daniels. Like y'all must think that this team like really really care about what we think. They don't. They do not. But we're gonna go to no cap, no filter. No cap, how you doing, man?
What up, TJ? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What you got for us?
Yeah, man, that boy Eric McCoy is about to send Derek Carr back to the concussion tent, but that's crazy.
Right, he
But
was mad, man. Like he was upset, but I mean, justifiably so. I mean, you can't yell and scream and get mad that you called out the wrong protections and you got teed off on. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like you can't get mad at that. That was your fault.
yeah, I'm hearing other people in the background. What's that?
You say you hearing other people in the background?
Yeah.
Not sure. I'm not. I don't hear anything.
All right, but anyway, let me go ahead on and just say, man, I know a lot of people they want the team to win, and that's cool. I mean, I can't tell another fan how they should be a fan of their own team. I can't tell you how to fan them, but I just really feel like it's detrimental for rooting for the team to give Dennis Allen another year under this team, and we be right back in miserable,
Hmm.
miserable.
Right.
Right in next season, we're gonna be in the same boat next season, and it's gonna be the same stuff under Dennis Allen. Like we're not gonna even much get lucky with the injury guards. They gave us 10 weeks and they spared us any, relatively, just bad injuries. We ain't gonna get that lucky again. And if we win a division, like you say, it's gonna be a even harder schedule. So a harder
Mhm.
schedule. We're not gonna get lucky with the injury guards because we squandered the injury luck that we had on our side of the ball, and we squandered it on the other side of the ball versus opponents when they big name players get out. So we squandered that under Dennis Allen. We don't prep good in preparation under Dennis Allen. They've been saying it for years now. Like you could just look at all the interview takes. We don't have no components of being a playoff team. We don't have a pass rush. You need that. We don't have a quarterback. You need that. We don't have a good coaching staff. You need that. We don't have a good special teams. You need that. We can't kick field goals. We can't get good field position with the punting game. We can't run the ball good. We can't stop the run. Oh, and now go ahead on the add on. We can't stop tight ends. Like you could mask some of those issues if you're good in other things, but you just can't have all those categories under just bad play. You can't. Like if you got a bad run game, well, you probably could mask it if you got good, a good passing game and a good defense. You probably can mask that. No team gonna be perfect, but we got way too many issues, and I feel like it all falls under the coaching staff. I was checked out after the Minnesota Vikings game. After that Vikings game, I was checked out. I detached from the team emotionally. I'm not going to be buying no tickets. I'm never going to another Dennis Allen game at all. Especially if I went to that Houston Texans game. I stay in Houston, and right then and there, I said, "Man, I don't know why I spent almost $300 on this ticket
Mm.
going to see a Dennis Allen game." I, TJ, when we played the Falcons, that was the first time I said, "Man, I want the Falcons to win because I want DA out of here." Being
Mm.
a fan that want to win just enough games for DA to get brought back, and all he probably got to do is win two more, just two more, and he'll get brought back. Just to say, man, at least we made it to the playoffs. At least we beat the Falcons. I'm past that. I am past that. I'm not worried about the Falcons. Whatever they got going on, that's what they got going on. I'm worried about my team. I want to get better with my team. I'm tired of sucking. I don't want to be in quarterback and Dennis and head coach purgatory. I want to get up out this, and I think the best way is to get Dennis Allen up out of here. You know,
Yeah.
being a fan that want to win and get to the playoffs and all that, knowing we can't even much put together 4 wins. We can't even beat all this talent. What you think they're gonna do when we go against good rosters with good head coach? They're gonna run circles around Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. Players know the plays we about to do before we even do it. We don't do play action. We don't do motions. We run the ball on 2nd and 10 a lot. We ran good today, but that's against one of the worst run defense in the league. And they had man, the Bucks and the Falcons were fighting in a dog fight to win because they know, man, we got a chance to win this division. The Panthers and the Saints, we were playing hot potato with the loss. You want to lose? No, you want to lose. You want to lose? No. We were
Mm.
playing hot potato. I detached TJ. Like when we played the Falcons, I wanted them to win because I know, man, that might be the I want when we played the Falcons, I wanted the Falcons to win because I said, okay, this might be the dagger. If we lose to the Panthers, this might be the nail in the coffin for DA to get up out of here. I
Yeah.
detached before division games. I used to get anxiety. I used to get nervous. I used to be having all this stuff going on. I used to even get so superstitious where I wouldn't even wear the same color briefs as the team that we about to play. I don't care about none of that no more. I just know it's about to be a disaster. We had like 6 turnovers, TJ. We had like 6 today, and we ain't even put up 30 points. Like that's just terrible. We had one takeaway and like 6 turnovers on downs, and and it was still too close for comfort until the very end. And I know Mickey Loomis is gonna beat his chest. You know, he gonna beat his chest and be on that press conference and say, "I told you so." And all the car supporters gonna come out. They'll take it any way they'll get it. They'll take it any way they'll get it. You know, they're gonna come out the woodworks. Even his brother was on Twitter coming out the woodworks and all.
Man,
One team to win.
you can say whatever you want, man. Like, bro, your brother suck. You know what I'm saying? That don't absolve anything. You know, like, man, like 2 garbage time touchdowns where a team pretty much knew and realized that it wasn't their day. Like that ain't good enough. You know, and like I said, I mean, we all know the truth, but let them keep on living in delusion in that world if they want to. Like,
No, but
it's
they don't.
just setting themselves up for failure. But
Yeah, they
I
don't.
digress.
Wanting this team to win, bro. That's almost equivalent to you got a added cousin and they just going through withdrawals and they just need a hit and you just try to help them out. You just give them a hit. You give them that hit, but it's gonna be detrimental to their future because you give them that
Right.
hit. I don't care if they're going through the withdrawal. Let them just go through it and let us go through it with another coaching staff. If it don't pan out, cool. But we know this not gonna work. If you had 2 doors to go through and one door is a 50% chance it might be success in another door. You know it's gonna fail because you went through this door already. You know it's gonna fail. I got hope, just like a fan got hope that we could get to the playoffs and turn it around after all this 13 weeks in. I got hope that we can at least draft a quarterback in the first round. I know we ain't do it in 50 some odd years, but if they got hope for that, I got hope for this. So I'm hoping that we can get us a quarterback. I don't care if he come in and be a backup behind Derek Carr. I don't care. But if we could get us a quarterback, that'll be cool. Because Dennis Allen, make no mistake about it, he will be fired. It's just how long will it take? Are we gonna keep him around for 4 years and just squander all these players' prime? Or will we just do the right thing and get this guy up out of here, this offseason? Because even if we was to draft a quarterback, I want another head coach to come in at the same time with him. I don't want him to be up under Dennis Allen for a year. Then we get another head coach. He gonna bring in his coaching staff. Now he got to learn a whole new playbook. All that it just taking away press for time. You just pressing for time right there, TJ. So that just
Man,
that,
yeah,
I'm
it
all the
ain't
faith, but
ain't happening.
yeah.
Yeah, it ain't happening. No cap. Like, look, I've been rolling with this team for way too long, and I see how this team operates. Like, I don't see them drafting a quarterback. I don't, because the way that Mickey Loomis' mind works, I don't know if he just saying this stuff like just to be saying it. But it just seems like he's more keen on moral victories than anything else. And the fact that this team goes out here against a 1-11 team and wins a game like this, he is adding stock to how he feels about Dennis Allen. And Dennis Allen loves Derek Carr. He is willing to look like an absolute buffoon for Derek Carr. So I don't see it. Like, I do not see them drafting a quarterback. Like, I do not. And I see them squandering yet more years of prime players like Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, who's starting to develop into a veteran himself. I just see them squandering these dudes and having them out here, you know what I'm saying, and keep on having these moral victories, man. But I'm sick of it, man. And I can't blame Saints fans for, checking out on this team. I mean, I've been checked out because I knew with Dennis Allen, you ain't winning nothing. Like, I realized that early in the season when they were up 17-0 and lost to Jordan Love, who played like straight slaw the entire game and basically put forth a Derek Carr type performance in the fourth quarter today and won. I said, this team ain't never gonna win nothing with this dude. It's just plain and simple. But no cap, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, man. Keep up the good work, TJ, bro.
All right, you do the same, man. Take care. Yeah, shouts out to No Cap, man. I knew from like the rip that these dudes weren't gonna win nothing with this combination. I knew they weren't gonna win nothing. But let's see. Cool Sports Palm says, what you think about DA celebrating a missed field goal against a 1-12 team like it's the Super Bowl or something. Well, that just shows that he engaged in the game. I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with that, man. You know, I mean, this shows you that he cares. You know, look, I think Dennis Allen cares. I think that he's trying to do the best that he can. I just don't think that his best is good enough. Like, I ain't got nothing. Like, I don't have anything against Dennis Allen personally. You know, like, I don't. Like, I just feel like he's just not good at being a head coach. And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, man, I don't have no problem with that. Like, he has passion. You know, that's good. TA, it's time for the punters to go, bro. I've been saying it all season. I mean, look, both guys, kicker, field goal kicker, and punter, it's time to go. Man out there doing my rugby style kicks, kicking them 29 yards and stuff. Like, this man, like, most kickers you see be flipping the field. Like, man, this dude, average, below average at best as a punter. But we're going to go ahead and end the calls with Mike. Mike, how you doing, man? Can you hear me? Mike up here sweeping the floor, ain't he? Mike, are you there? Well, I think he got you on mute, man. Mike up there sweeping the floor, man.
All right.
You can hear me? Hey, man, you sweeping the floor, man, trying to get it clean in there, right?
Yeah, I was just sweeping the Panthers.
Hey, look, I don't blame you. Look, you say you was sweeping the Panthers right there, man. That's a good one right there. But, Mike, what you got for us today, man?
All right, so yeah, I agree with you. Hold on. All right, yeah, I agree with you. That was a tail. I won't even say a tail. That was just a battle between two teams that already is. I mean, the Panthers mathematically is already done. Saints.
Right.
I mean, but like you said, yeah, there was definitely lots of things that the Saints, like the Panthers, they try to give us the win. The Panthers try to give it to us, but then the Saints were like, "You can have it." But then that fourth quarter, Panthers were like, "I'll pay you $1,000 to take the win." And then the Saints were like, "Okay, I want money because it's not like I get $5 million a year." But then they started beating up on the trash ass Panthers. I think the best thing in that game though was Jimmy Graham, that 100-year-old catching a touchdown. That dude is timeless. He's probably like the best tight end that's not a starter that is at his age.
Yeah.
Like, that man is just timeless.
I mean, every time he touches the ball, something good happens.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what could have possibly happened if they actually, I don't know, listen to what the fans actually wanted at the beginning of the season when they was having red zone issues? And hey, but I don't know. It's just another feather in the cap of ineptitude for this team.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know the thing that bugs me the most is that the Saints, right? And I said this on a couple podcasts too. The Saints, and I know we did not get into a hole this time, but you know why the Saints be losing so many games that they should not be losing? It's because they always they always create a big hole to start the game that they try, but they can't climb out of it because it's already a big hole. You remember Detroit? We were down 21-0 in the first 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up losing by 5. Do you think if it was only like 14-0, that wouldn't have mattered?
Yep.
And the Houston game, we were down by like 17-7 at halftime.
Right.
But we only lose by 7. The Vikings game, we're down 27-3. We only lose by 8. The Falcons game, we're down like 14-9 or whatever it was, and we only lose by a couple scores.
Yep.
So I don't think I won't say that. I don't think the biggest problem is the Dennis Allen, Derek Carr thing. I think the biggest problem is coming back. Is like coming back from like a big hole because like the Saints, they could have like 8 or 9 wins right now if they did not create big holes. Like the Saints, man, like we could be easily smacking this division upside their head, like pow, pow, pow. But we're not doing that. You want to know why? Oh, you in the back. Yeah, because, the Saints, they be creating big holes. Ding, 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 bingo.
Yeah, so, I mean, you start slow, and then all of a sudden, like, you come out and make those adjustments. The inability to be able to make the adjustments on the fly and have to go to the locker room to do it has cost this team. And, that good teams great teams are able to make those adjustments in real time. And that's the reason why you have like some of these top teams, man, like I can't believe I'm about to say this, the Cowboys and the Eagles and teams like that who can make those adjustments because they got some really good coaches. And it's just that simple. And the Saints don't have good coaches. Like the Saints, they can't they can't stay, lock and step with a team. They can't really hold the lead for the most part. I mean, it's so many different ways that this team actually loses. And I just think that, you just setting yourself up for failure if you feel like any signs of relief are going to come through. Like they it seemed like they content in believing that this coaching staff puts them in the best position to win. And the fact that they have yet to make any moves, it just tells you, and that's the scary part, that they are okay with this coaching staff. Like it's insane.
Yep. And like, the thing that bugs me though is that you got teams that are smart, right?
Right.
For example, the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
They were currently in the playoffs, and I think they are in the playoffs right now since the Texans lost, but I gotta check that. But the Steelers back then were currently in control of a playoff spot. You know what they did? They fired one of their coaches.
Yep,
Because
Mad Canada.
despite them winning, they knew the problem.
Yep.
You got the Raiders, who was right there to get like that 7th seed early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But who did they fire? Their head coach. And yet they still have a small but decent chance.
Right.
But the Saints, no. Because we are winning games in Saints culture, I guess. But what's gonna come out of it? Like at this point, like I don't lose for like better draft pick because screw tanking, but
yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
But I just like, and plus I'm going to the Saints game next week, so if I have to run on the field and slap somebody upside the head, I might do that. Will I get kicked out?
Hey, in that case, you probably show more fight than the coaching staff shows. Like, but anyway, that's another story. But Mike, man, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate it, man. And hopefully, we'll talk before you actually go to the game. But if we don't, man, good luck to you and hope you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm getting into, so people don't feel bad for me if we do go, because the game. I'm not officially going to the game. I gotta check with my dad first, but it's looking like we might go. But we scheduled this like before, like 2 months before the season, because I thought I would be able to enjoy myself and actually see a clear win. I don't even know if that's going to be possible anymore.
Well, look at it like this, Mike. You paid for tickets a couple months ago to sit in a certain seat. But if you go to the game, you might get opportunity to sit even closer than you could even imagine. So, so that's a good thing. But man, all in all, man, enjoy yourself, all right? And call back anytime, man.
All right.
See you later. Peace. Hey, man, you paid for you probably paid maybe $80, $90, probably a little bit more than that. And now you can go sit in the 100 section. All you gotta do is just move now. What security gonna do? Ain't nobody sitting here. Ain't nobody here. So there you go. Super King, TJ, D's, MF, Loomis, and Gail in the locker room, literally trying to make it, it us versus them. We environment. I've never seen an organization villainize their fans. Talking about it's us against them. It's us against the world. That's what they saying. They really said that in the locker room. Somebody tell me that. Like, did they really go in the locker room and said it's us against the world? I hope not. I hope not. I hope that they aren't that petty. But I can tell you this: if it is them against the world is about to win. That I am very, very confident about. The world will win because Lord knows Dennis Allen won't. You ain't winning jack. But hey, if that's what they want to do, I mean, if they want to put this us against the world type mentality, they want us to, you know what I'm saying? They want to feel like, oh, they the villains and all that kind of stuff there. Fine. Like, but at the end of the day, like I said, the world is going to win. You need fans to show up to games. You need fans to buy merchandise. You need fans to support the team. You need people to be out there rooting for the team, right? And rather they're at the game or anywhere else, to bring attention onto the team. So if they have that type of mentality, let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long it lasts with Dennis Allen. You're going down with the ship. You're putting Dennis Allen in people's faces and trying to convince us that he's the right coach for the job. Let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts. I can tell you it's not going to last very long. And that is the delusion right there. Like, that is the delusion that we're talking about. And that's the type of stuff that will have Saints fans looking for other teams. Like, seriously. Like, if you're not fully committed to the fan base who make you who you are, if you're not committed to them, that and giving them what they want, which is a winning product, if you're so stubborn that you're willing to try to force this issue down the throats of the Who Dat Nation, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, people are going to abandon ship, and they're going to be looking for other teams, because they're going to be like, well, if this organization don't care about me, why the hell should I care about them? I'm just saying, like, if you can't play like trash and then get mad that people saying that you're playing like trash. You can't get mad at fans because you're not living up to expectations, because they're upset that you're not living up to expectations. Like, what in what world does that make sense? And people aren't trying to buy what you're selling. If people see that your product is not working, why would they do that? If a woman goes out and she buys a hair care product, she puts it in her hair and her hair starts to fall out, why in her right mind would she go back to the store and buy the same product again? If we all can see that this is not working, if we all can see that you've had 2 seasons to prove to the fan base that this dude was the answer, and he has yet to prove that, why in the world would we sit up here and cheer for a guy that we know isn't very good? But continue this us against the world mentality. I don't know what was said in the locker room. I can't verify that or not. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. But if this is the case, how in the world can you be upset as Saints fans for wanting a better product than what you're actually giving them? Right, I got tickets to the Saints game on the 21st. Definitely moving closer to the sidelines. Yes, they celebrating Mickey. They celebrating Mickey. Celebrating Mickey for what? No, he's saying the Saints against the fans. Oh, who was saying Saints against the fans? Somebody said the Saints against the fans? Ain't no way. Ain't no way that I gotta hear that. I gotta hear the context. I didn't click the video, but Loomis and Gale making it seem like the people in the locker room versus the fans. I don't know. I gotta hear the context of that. I gotta hear the context of that one. Let's see. With Gale being in the locker room, it made my hopes lower that DA will get fired. Yep. I mean, he gonna be here. That's why I was saying before. This isn't a Gail Benson decision. I don't know why we're looking at Gail Benson and trying to think that she's going to be making these football moves. It's really, honestly, it's up to Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis, for those that didn't check out the pregame show, is not only the general manager of the New Orleans Saints, he is the executive vice president of the New Orleans Saints, which means if something was to happen to Gail Benson, if something was to happen to Dennis Lauscher, and they could not perform their duties, Mickey Loomis would be the owner and operator of the football team. He is third in command. This is deeper than just being a general manager. So he can run this team wherever he sees fit, and there's going to be very little blowback coming his way. That's what people aren't understanding. So I'm not looking at Gail Benson. I think that Gail Benson has delegated those duties of the overall operations of the team to Mickey Loomis. And not only is he running it from a GM's perspective, he's running it from a executive perspective when it comes to the Saints trust. So if Mickey Loomis don't feel like there's a problem with it, there's not going to be a change. I don't see Gail Benson jumping in and making any type of moves. I think she leaves that up to Mickey Loomis. That's just what I see and what I believe. I used to buy cheap Pelican tickets off StubHub and buy a bunch of concessions till they won't not ask for my ticket and sit in an expensive section. Well, that's pretty smart. I'm telling you, you can probably sit wherever the heck you want these days. I can tell you that. Roger, thank you very much for the $5. Said Terry Bradshaw said that the Saints do not have a quarterback that can drive success. I mean, I think we all know that. I think we all know. I mean, Derek Carr is not very good. Everybody can see it except for these Derek Carr fans and people that want to get their videos monetized by big up in Derek Carr so they can have fans come back and say, what? Huh? Man, I can't believe he said that. Man, let me share this so everybody else can see what he's talking about. Loser. But anyway, like people like that just straight up like absolutely delusional. Like one thing that really just bothers me, and I just can't stand this. I cannot stand individuals that basically make troll channels. Like I can't stand that. I can't stand people that make troll tweets. Like basically just to try to like become this character in order to bring attention onto themselves. Like not really creative at all, but just try to be the villain. Like everybody can see that Derek Carr is not very good. What bothers me is when people like turn a blind eye to like certain situations. Like call it for what it is. Like you can support somebody, but you don't have to be oblivious to their imperfections. Like you can still call out their imperfections. Like this dude is not very good. And that is a guy who has won 4 Super Bowls on one of the most legendary teams in NFL history, the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s. So I'm gonna take his word for it any day of the week. That's a Hall of Famer. That's a 4-time Super Bowl champion and a pretty darn good quarterback in his own right back in his day. So there you go. They gave Mickey the game ball. DA ain't going nowhere. They gave him the game ball because they trying to, butter him up. Like, oh yeah, he's our guy. He's our man. If he can't select them, no one can. Losers. Facts, TJ. Let's see. 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, Derek Carr stats: 12 for 20 completion, 37 yards, 1 pick. Yep. What does Matt Moscona call him? The emperor of empty yards? Pretty much. Derek Carr pass to an uncovered Andrews Pete incomplete. Yeah, that was hilarious, man. I don't think I laughed that hard in so long watching that man just do that. That was just absolutely hilarious. But let's go ahead and read some of these stats, man, so we can get up out of here, enjoy the rest of our evening, man. Got some really good football games on right now, going into halftime, most of them. So get an opportunity to watch the second half or watch some teams that really know what they're doing, play some football. Derek Carr, 18 of 26, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, had 37 yards. Keep in mind, going into the fourth quarter, he was 12 of 20, and he ended up with 119 yards. Alvin Kamara ran the ball really well, in my opinion. Don't know why they just stopped running the football. I mean, I don't know. 12 carry, 56 yards at a 4.7 average and a touchdown. Jamal Williams probably had his best game as a running back for the New Orleans Saints. He had 11 carries for 43 yards. Jameis Winston, 2 carries for a -2 yards, which, was 2 knees. A.T. Perry, 1 catch for 44 yards. That big, big time catch that he made to try to inflate Derek Carr's stats. Chris Olave with a warrior effort. He had 4 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. Was out there battling the flu. Lynn Bowden had 4 catches for 24. Jimmy Graham, 2 catches for 16 yards and a touchdown. Jawan Johnson, who's stealing money, 2 catches for 10 yards. Foster Monroe, 2 catches, 8 yards. Jamal Williams didn't have a catch. Alvin Kamara, 3 catches for a -11 yards. All because Derek Carr throws the ball. Because anybody that don't believe what I'm saying when I say that this dude just tries to inflate his stats, even though this was a negative play, Guess what it made? Guess what it was for Derek Carr? A completion. But Alvin Kamara, 3 catches, minus 11 yards. Jordan Howden had 10 tackles. He had a 1 sack, 1 pass deflection. Demario Davis had 8 tackles, a sack and a half, and a tackle for loss. And he also had a pass deflection. Tyrann Mathieu had 6 tackles, along with Colin Sanders, Nate Shepard, Alante Taylor, Paulson Adebo, who showed like a lot of heart and grit, taking down Miles Sanders before he got into the end zone, which set up a field goal, a missed field goal. He had 5 tackles. Carl Granderson had 5 tackles and a sack. Cam Jordan had 2 tackles. He's been dealing with injuries, so he's on a snap count. Tano Passanio, another guy stealing money who shouldn't be with the Saints next year. 2 tackles. JT Gray had 2 tackles. Zach Barn with 2 tackles, who I feel like they need to have him a part of the pass rush since he's pretty doggone good at it, and he did it at Wisconsin. But hey, we don't know what we're talking about. Just like we didn't know what we were talking about when we said Jimmy Graham need to be out there. But Zach Bourne, 2 tackles. Lonnie Johnson Jr. with 2 tackles. Pete Warner with 2 tackles. Isaac Yadam with 2 tackles and 3 pass deflections. Shouts out to Isaac Yadam. Every time he comes in, he fills in when Marshawn is down. He does a really good job. Jonathan Abrams, Kyle Phillips, Ugo Amadi, Eric McCoy, Jake Heflin, DeMarco Jackson, and Brian Brzee. So Brian Brzee and DeMarco Jackson had 0, and you had Heflin, McCoy, Amadi, Phillips, and Abram with 1 tackle. And of course, we know DeMarco Jackson had the recovery for a touchdown on special teams. So my final thought is simple, Who Dat Nation. It's very, very simple. This game did absolutely nothing for me in my hopes for this New Orleans Saints team. It's only helped me to realize the inevitable that is going to take place and going to tick off a lot more Saints fans out there, is that they're going to retain Dennis Allen, and they're going to subject us to this ineptitude for a 3rd year, and it's going to really bother us, and it's really going to tick a lot of Saints fans off. A lot of Saints fans are going to be kind of caused to pause when it comes to purchasing tickets in 2024. Won't be no quarterback in a draft in the 1st round. Going to make us upset by drafting, I don't know, offensive lineman or a pass rusher who probably had 2 ACL tears. We all know what's going to happen here, and it's absolutely embarrassing. It's sad. It's pathetic, and there's no end in sight because we got a general manager that has basically immunity when it comes to this team. We got an owner who probably don't know what the heck is going on. Just shows up on a golf cart and wave to the people like she's Mother Teresa or Princess Diana. You got Dennis Lausch out here that probably golfed with Mickey Loomis in his spare time. So there's nothing really we can do here, folks, but just strap in and just ride this wave at this theme park called the New Orleans Saints on a ride called the Ineptitude. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Shouts out to everybody that commented. Shouts out to everybody that called in. Shouts out to everybody that donated. You can check out previous episodes of the State of the Saints podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Also, you can check out me if you want to follow me on social media. You can do so by going to X, formerly known as Twitter, at TJAYJones8. Much love to each and every one of you. If I didn't read your comments in the chat, I apologize. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Much love to everybody. Thank you for making this show what it is, and I really do appreciate it. Till next time. All I got to say is, Who Dat?